Okay, we made an action, but maybe not all of you knows how does it work. Frequency separation is very popular recently, but it wasn't requirement to know how does it work in this course. So I have to show you how does it work. As I mentioned before, high frequency layer contains information about details, low frequency colors. In high frequency layer, what I do, I would recommend you to work with clone stamp tool and use hard edged brush around 90%. Why? When we retouch like this, we're not going to blur out the texture. That's very important. And also clone stamp copy everything and healing brush only the texture. You can work with healing brush also with hard edged brush, but for me the clone stamp works a bit better in this case. So let's do this quickly as a presentation. You're going to use clone stamp to clone the area, and we made a mistake, of course. Remember, as a sample on the top, it has to be current layer. If we work on regular layer, it will be current layer. If we work on empty layer, it will be all layers. Let's start again. Clone, and we cover in all of the bad spots that we want to cover. Is it simple? Simple and really quick. So I'm not going to retouch all of this image because this is not retouching course actually, and I don't want to make you bored, but as you can see, it can work really quickly using this method, and it's very important to do this basic cleaning up, even if many things we can sort out by different things. And what's really great by the fact it's just a texture on this layer and the details, we're not affecting the color because the color stays here. So we cover in all of the spots, but still it's absolutely impossible to notice that something was changed because we just fixed in the texture. Of course, if you retouch in smaller spots, use smaller size of the brush, just like that. It would take you maybe around 5 minutes, but yeah, that's the basic thing of use frequency separation. And now it's time to show you the possibilities that frequency separation would give you and the possibilities that so many people loves. I have to mention a few words about the low frequency. If you do beauty retouch, you're not supposed to work on the low frequency. The thing is, because you can overdone this. I used to work with this. The standards are slowly changing into something more natural, but I notice if you do this smart, it's okay. However, I noticed even if I was saying, many people still overusing this and do not listen to use this smart. So I'm going to show you as much as possible how to work smart with this. Let's do a bit more on this high frequency. Okay. Let's go to low layer, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this layer just to not affect the actual layer, because maybe there will be something we want to fix. And let's have a look at the cheek, and you can see a lot of different colors which doesn't look so well. So we want to even out this part of the skin, this part over here maybe. What I'm going to do, I'm going to choose selection tool, and the feather I'm going to start with around 50. Of course, the feather depends on the size of your image, so don't look once again what I'm doing, but we have to make this kind of big selection. Press Q on your keyboard and see if that selection has soft edges. I think I chose really pretty good size. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, and I have really nice soft edges, don't I? A bit smaller. So what's the key? Select the areas that you see and feel the colors could be improved. I selected this one. Then I'm going to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to pull this up, and as I'm pulling this up, you can see if I pull this too much, it's getting gray. However, we're just going to do this softly. 20 few, maybe, in this case. Hit OK. Maybe you cannot see the result, but that's before, that's after. As you can see, I had some ugly shadows here. So again, before, after, and try now to even out. I see a bit more here. I'm going to try with this, and I'm going to just repeat the effect. So Control or Command F, let's repeat. Repeat here, repeat. So as you can see, we have a lot of control. I would recommend you to not select too big areas. Some people select big areas, but this is not good. Just don't select big areas, because when you're going to select big areas, you're going to even out the edges, and that's not the point of this. You want to make this as natural as possible. So small areas, the areas that are a bit rough that you want to improve, and that's it. We're not working much on this. You can have a look right now how we improved this image before, after. Much better, and very soft change, isn't it? A bit more over here, but here it will require a bit different work. We don't want to flatten the nose. That's it. That was too small. This nose will require a bit different work. So that's the basic step. The face looks just beautiful right now. Also, on the hands we can make a bit bigger selection to even out them a little bit. And as I said, many people will tell you about how wrong is the low frequency layer. I can tell you about this as well. But if you use this in the smart way, that will be right thing to do. So okay, that's how this action will work, and that's the power of this action. You see, I was talking. This lesson has maybe around 10 minutes, and in this 10 minutes, even if I was talking, we did cleaning up of the skin. So you have to say this is really powerful. You can do retouch in 5 minutes. You can even out the skin. You can really do this nicely without destroying the texture of the skin, as some people do using surface blur. You don't want to use surface blur, and never do this. You can use frequency separation and keep the skin texture and make this really nice, soft, and natural. So okay, we did the first step, but there will be something more. And now we will be moving into the action that actually was my own idea, and I thought it could give us a bit more possibilities. I'm going to present you this quickly in this lesson. I'm going to remove what I did, even though I'm quite sad because I put some work on this, but I'm going to give you as much information as you need. Let's play the action once again. And what you can notice, as I was working with this, the blurring out the low layer actually give us some nice possibilities. So why to not blur out all of this and keep even more control? That will be difficult, right? But not with my action. What we're going to do, we're going to duplicate this low layer. Have a look. I'm duplicating this low layer, and I'm going to blur out all of this. Blur, Gaussian blur. I'm going to set as before 20 something. It doesn't look well right now, isn't it? It looks actually horrible. But very important thing in Photoshop is working with the mask. The basic thing about the mask is white is everything visible, we're creating it here, black, everything is invisible. And that makes our work super simple, white visible, black invisible. If I'm going to choose a brush, flow, lower the flow into a really soft one, I'm going to use soft edged brush, And with this white soft edged brush, I'm just going to paint on this black layer mask. Have a look. Of course, I wasn't retouching the details right now. We will do this a bit later. What I'm doing right now is even out the wrong shadows a little bit, and we're going to have a look. A bit over here. And you have to say it gives us much more control, isn't it? We're going to have a quick look after this. Just quickly, before, after, you can see we work really even more softly with more control, working like that. I can apply a bit more to make this just more visible. I wouldn't apply more this, but I just want you to see before, after. Super powerful and even quicker than the previous thing. And this will be our starting point for the next action when I'm going to work with smart objects, and which will be even more rebuilt and controlled than what I showed you right now. The last thing I want to show you about frequency separation is this middle layer. That will be our last point, and I'm going to set the flow of the brush at 2%, and in which case it's really powerful. I'm going to press Alt to take a sample of the color, this soft color, and let's say we have some wrong shadows under the eye. And with this soft color I'm going to paint under the eye a little bit, before, after. So I believe you can easily see the thing about this, how powerful is this. As I said, I'm not choosing color on my own, I'm choosing the color from the face that I want to apply to other place. So here I have some shadows, so I'm going to take this color, a bit brighten, and paint over here. So if you're looking for more detailed retouch, more precise, look, here we have some shadow. I'm taking this brighter color from here and painting a little bit over here. And looks how nicely we are fixing the wrong spots. Here I make this too bright, we can apply a bit dark color and get to the point that we really want. I believe the explanation of frequency separation is quite full right now, so we can progress to more complicated action and action that even give you more control.